This is episode 2053 of the Daily Meditation Podcast. I'm Mary Meckley. How are you doing? I welcome you to midweek in our series we're exploring on a very important topic. This is the topic of forgiveness. It's one of the most difficult and most important things you could do for yourself. Our theme this entire week is on forgiving, and this is a process. You are taking the first steps this week on this forgiveness journey. And in today's episode, I'm going to share with you ways that you can reframe the way you approach forgiveness. In today's episode, you'll discover a tool you can do as you meditate and as you go throughout your days. And this is the meditation technique called a mudra. A mudra is a way you position your fingers and your hands, and this helps to stimulate a corresponding region of your brain. It's very similar to acupuncture or acupressure. The mudra for today that I invite you to try is called the Shunya mudra. To do it, you tap your middle finger down into your palm. Your other fingers are extended outward naturally, and then take your thumb and fold it down over your middle finger as if you're holding it downward into your palm with your thumb. Do this with both your hands, and that's it. You are now doing the Shunya mudra. Mudras are ancient techniques, and you can see how this mudra is done on the Sip and Om. It's actually sip.and.om Instagram page, where I have a guide with all the techniques for this week's series. You can pick it up there. It's also on Facebook. So there you have it. And I'll mention that this is a pretty heavy topic, forgiveness. If you want to go a little more deeply into this series, I always share a daily guided 30-minute meditation on the Sip and Om app. You get a guide and a journal there with each series that we explore, and you can try it for 2 weeks free. Going onto the app is just always a way for you to explore a topic a little more deeply. I've been reading about forgiveness, and I came across a simple but pretty powerful article on the website from the Mayo Clinic, mayoclinic.org. And this is an article that I'll be sharing with you today. It's titled, Forgiveness, Letting Go of Grudges and Bitterness. So this is some insight to take into your meditation today. Holding a grudge can impact you pretty dramatically, both physically and emotionally. If you are unforgiving, it can bring anger and bitterness into your relationships and also into most any of your experiences. They can always seem a little tinged by bitterness. You can become wrapped up in the wrong that was done to you, that you have a hard time enjoying the present, or it consumes you so much that even when you're having fun and you're getting together with people, a lot of times you bond over the issue of the wrong that has been done to you. You can become depressed and anxious. You can feel like your life lacks meaning or purpose, and you can begin to lose your hope in life, your spiritual beliefs. You can lose connection with those that mean most to you, or feel detached from people that you love because you're hurting so much and you're so wrapped up in this bitterness. It's so pervasive around you. And I want to share with you a story that someone in my own spiritual group I meet with every morning. She is a former teacher for special needs children. And she talked about how there was a teacher that she used to work with in the classroom. And this person would be so negative and so heavy that it was like a dark cloud in the classroom. It affected everyone. And people tried to gloss over it and be positive, but she was really bitter. And on days when she was absent from school, it was like a breath of fresh air flowed in the classroom. And she had real sorrow in her life. Her brother was a missing person, and I don't believe they ever found him. So you can imagine the grief and the sorrow from having no closure over her brother suddenly missing. This was heartbreak in her life, and it permeated everything. And you can understand it. You can have compassion for what she was going through. But imagine how she cast such a cloud over so many others. She may have even traumatized many people because she was so negative. I'm sure that you have met people like that. So if you can have compassion for someone who is struggling, they're dark, they're negative, they're angry, this can help you to soften the impact of their anger and bitterness. And you might find that you may act in the same way. So, what happens to your mind and body when you forgive? Well, there are many things, as you can imagine, but I'll share some of the positive impacts when you forgive someone from this article. You begin to have healthier relationships. You improve your mental health. Anxiety and stress and hostility are lessened. Your blood pressure goes down. You have fewer symptoms of depression, and your immune system is stronger. You also have improved heart health and better self-esteem. So I invite you now to reframe the way you view forgiveness. Now that you know how detrimental harboring a grudge can be and how beneficial it can be to forgive, how about thinking of forgiveness in the same way as you think about sitting down to meditate or exercising or eating well? It has to do with improving your life. If you can think of forgiveness as a goal, this helps to take away the emotional attachments that can happen when someone harms you or when there has been any kind of discrimination. Think about forgiving as a way to protect yourself, because that's exactly what you're doing. And you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting your loved ones and the people you interact with. So my challenge for you today, on top of your challenge, as you do a little bit to forgive someone each day, that's your challenge this week. Today, as you sit down now to begin to meditate, begin to recognize the value of forgiveness in your life. recognize how forgiving can improve your life. And consider what needs healing now within you. Who needs to be forgiven, and for what? Do this now as you settle yourself down to meditate, closing your eyes, straightening your spine, committing yourself to improving your life by releasing unforgiveness. What do you need now to heal? And who needs to be forgiven? And for what? You are so worth slowing down for.